Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we are going to deal with Abhinaya, a module prepared for the unit 1 Natya Shastra and Rasa for the course Classical Sanskrit Poetics. I am Dr. B. Vani, Associate Professor, Retired Principal, Sarojini Naidu Vanita Mahavidyalaya, Hyderabad. Bharata defines Abhinaya as अभिपूर्वसु नेय धातो अभिमुख्यार्थ इष्यते यस्मात् पदार्थान् नियते तस्मात् अभिनयः स्मृतः. This is the definition given by Bharata, which means Abhinaya. Abhi means towards, ni, nayati is to lead or guide, is the art of expression in Indian dramaturgy. It exactly means leading the audience towards the experience bhava of a sentiment, rasa. Abhinaya is a one very important thing to lead the spectator towards the rasa. Abhinaya is essentially a manifestation of an emotion, a vehicle of conveying the emotions to the spectator. Abhinaya portrays a mixed pleasures and pains of the three worlds when presented on the stage. Abhinaya mainly occurs in two varieties. Padartha Abhinaya, where the artist delineates each word with gesture and expression. Padartha Abhinaya, where dancer acts out of entire stanza or a sentence. Padartha is only a single word is been enacted, and Vakyartha is the whole sentence with a meaning is been enacted. These are the two varieties of the Abhinaya. There are two, in the same way there are two aspects in the Abhinaya. One is Lokadharmi, other is Natyadharmi. Lokadharmi is proximity to the ways of the world. However the person reacts in the world in pain or pleasure, in the same way acting on the stage is the Lokadharmi. Natyadharmi is a theoretical representation entirely dependent on Abhinaya, which is according to the stage, the time, performance and all enacting on the stage is called Natya Dharmi. And this Abhinaya is fourfold. First one is Angika Abhinaya, the expression with the physical gestures. Vachika Abhinaya, expression with the voice and speech, is a verbal expression. Aharya Abhinaya is the expression of the makeup and costume. And Satvika Abhinaya, expression with the emotions. Angika Abhinaya. Angika Abhinaya has three major parts. The movement of the Angika Abhinaya is the movement of the limbs, physical gesticulation. That is with the Angas and Pratyangas and Upangas. Angas are 6 in number: Shiras, head; Hasta, hand; Vakshas, chest; Pashva, sides; Katigata, hips; and Pada, foot. These are the, and some consider Griva, neck is also as the 7th Anga, but these 6 are considered as the Angas of the body. Pratyangas, there are 6 in number: Skanda, shoulders; Bahu, arms; Prushta, back; Udara, stomach; Vuru, calves; Janga, shanks. These are the 6 Pratyangas which are important in the Abhinaya, and some consider Manibandha, Kurpara and Janu are also as Pratyangas which are also important in the performance of the Angika Abhinaya. And Upangas of the head. There are 12 Upangas are the main parts of the Shiraha, the face: Drushti, Puta, Bhru, Taraka, Ganda, Darshana, Nasika, Griva, Athara, Chubuka, Asya and Mukharaga, the color of the face. Hasta Abhinaya. Hasta Abhinayas are two types of the Hasta Abhinayas are been explained by Bharata in his Natya Shastra. The Nrutya Abhinaya is the Abhinaya where Rasa, Bhava, also Abhinaya is been performed without the voice, without the language. They are 24 asamyukta hastas executed with one hand, and 13 samyukta hastas which are executed with both hands together. These are the two Nrutya Abhinaya hastas. And along with this, there are 13 Nrutya hasta Abhinayas, which are ornate hand gestures, which do not, which are only the bodily physical movements of the hands without any Abhinaya or Rasa. Bharata has also defined the hasta prachara, the hand positions, and hasta Raychakas, hand moving along with the arm movement, and hasta Karanas, the turning movement of the hand. Pratyanga vidhana. Each pratyanga has 5 movements, and they should synchronize with the movements of the foot, the shank, and the thigh to express the intended action fully. This is called as chari. When all the pratyangas along with their foot, shank, and thighs are moved, they are called as charis. These charis, that is a footwork, is of 2 kinds. There are 16 bhaumi charis, the feet that are placed on the ground completely, and 16 akashaki charis, the one foot or both of them raised above the ground level. Bhaumi means bhumi, the earth, ground, and foot is placed on the ground. It's called as bhaumi chari, and the foot, either one foot or the both, if they are above the ground level, if they are moving in the above the ground level, is called as akashaki charis. Mandala is a combination of footwork. Depending on the predominance of the form of chari, mandala is of 2 kinds. 10 akashagata mandalas, 10 bhumigata mandalas. When the chari is performed on the bhumi, they are called as bhumigata mandalas. If the footwork is done on the above the ground level, they are called as akashagata mandalas. These are the number of charis together makes one mandala. And sthanakas. These are all pertaining to the Angika Abhinayas, Sthanakas, static positions. Bharata explains Sthanakas like 6 postures for men used in action in different situations, like when he is releasing the bow, releasing the arrow from the bow, how he should stand, and if he is carrying a weight, how he should stand, how the posture has to be there. Likewise, there are 6 postures for men used in action in different situations, and 3 sthanakas for women, postures of women in action and in talking to others, and 6 sthanakas postures for men and women each while reclining. And Karanas, transitory postures. Karana is simultaneously correlated with the movements of hands and feet. The major, the minor and subsidiary limbs should move in accordance with the hand and feet. And 108 Nrutya Karanas were given by Bharata, which is used in the Tandava Nrutya also. But he says they are infinite in number. It is not necessary that there are only the 108 Nrutya Karanas have to be employed in the dance performance. According to the place where they are living, the people who, according to the people who of the state, country, their mannerisms, their behavior, their movements on the body, limbs, etc., they also can be incorporated in their dance. This is all pertaining to the Angika Abhinaya. Angika Abhinaya is majorly the physical bodily movements. And Angahara. Angahara is also, Angahara is a combination of the Karanas. Group of Karanas make one Angahara to give an integrated picture. They should flow into one another smoothly to render harmonized performance. If one Karana is explained and the people should not stay in the same Karana for a long time, they have to shift to the next Karana to the next Karana like this. Likewise, they have to jump into from one Karana to the other Karana, and these group of Karanas are called as Angaharas. And the Raychaka movements of the limbs. Raychaka is a movement of any limb from its position by rotating it or lifting it up or separate from it. Group of Karanas into Angaharas and is the process called as a Raychaka. There are 4 kinds of pertaining to the limbs. Pada Raychakas, Kati Raychakas, Hasta Raychakas and Griva Raychakas. Raychaka acts as a filling of the blanks to produce a continuity. Because from one position to other position, the Karana movement is called as Angahara. From the Angahara, continuity has to be there. If a person goes into the static position, the desired result, desired rasa cannot be produced in the audience. So the movement should be continuous and very smoothly from one to other they have to shift. And these are called as Raychakas, shifting from one to the other. Now from Angika Abhinaya, Abhinaya with the Anga, Upanga, Pratyangas, Karanas, Hastas, Nrutta Hastas, Samyuta Hastas, Asamyuta Hastas, Chari, Mandala, Angahara and Raychaka, and finally Sthanaka. With all these the Angika Abhinaya is explained, and now after knowing about Angika Abhinaya, now let's move to the second Abhinaya, which is called as Vachika Abhinaya. Out of the 4 Abhinayas, Angika Abhinaya, Vachika Abhinaya. Vachika Abhinaya is a very important expression with the voice and speech. Because Angika Abhinaya, Aharya Abhinaya, Satvika Abhinaya, these are all can be interpreted by the speech alone. Because Angika Abhinaya takes the support of Vachika Abhinaya, Aharya Abhinaya also takes the Vachika Abhinaya, and Satvika Abhinaya also takes the help of Vachika Abhinaya. The Vachika Abhinaya is there, it can support all the other Abhinayas. If any lapses are there in the Abhinayas, Angika or Aharya or Satvika, Vachika Abhinaya can fulfill all the other 3 Abhinayas. In the perspective of the point of the author and the actor, this if any Angika Abhinaya is could not be shown, that can be replaced with the Vachika Abhinaya. Bharata treated the various branches of Vachika Abhinaya like language, speech and voice. Vachika Abhinaya through language, Vachika Abhinaya through speech and Vachika Abhinaya through voice. Pertaining to language, Vachika Abhinaya through language. How it can be enacted? This is 7 varieties: Bhasha Bheda, language and its regional variation. Vachika Abhinaya with the languages and its regional variation. The regional variation is each region, each country, they have their own modulation of the voice, their own vocabulary, their own way of expression, using the same thing in the drama, in the enactment for that particular character. This is a Vachika Abhinaya. Vyakarana. When the person is enacting, Vyakarana, the grammar has to be taken care of. And Chandas, prosody, meter. And Lakshana, poetic embellishments. Alankara, figures of speech. Gunas, merits. Doshas, demerits. All these things have to be taken care in the Vachika Abhinaya. There are 10 gunas and 10 doshas and 4 alankaras and 32 lakshanas. All these have to be incorporated in the Vachika Abhinaya to make it a complete one. Pertaining to speech, Vachika Abhinaya pertaining to the speech. There are 2 varieties of Vachika Abhinayas, Sambuddhi Vidhana and Nama Vidhana. And Sambuddhi Vidhana is form of addressing. Like in the presentation of the drama, audience will be watching the drama. People will not know, audience will not know that who is who and all. And there is a particular procedure rule that some of the characters have to be addressed in the same way. Like a Brahmin character is there, he should be addressed as Arya. If a king character is there, he should be addressed as Maharaja only. If a son wants to address, if a father wants to address his son, then he has to call him as Putra Vatsaka. And if a wife has to address her husband as Aryaputra only, not with the name. Likewise, there are particular addressing system which is called as Sambuddhi Vidhana, that comes under the Vachika Abhinaya only, and Nama Vidhana, naming of the characters. And like a Vidushaka character is there, a justice character is there. Mostly he should be named as Vasantaka only, because he gives all kinds of joy, like how Vasanta Masa gives joy to the people. In the same way, this character, when he enters on the stage, he gives all the joy to the public audience. So such kind of a naming has to be taken. Okay, that is also comes under the that is also rendered as the Vachika Abhinaya. Vachika Abhinaya pertaining to voice is of two types: Kakuswara Vyanjana and Virama. Kakuswara Vyanjana is a modulation of the voice which has 6 characteristics. First one is Swara, Sthana, Varna, Kaku, Alankara and Anga. Swara is a musical note. The 7 fundamental musical notes, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. These are the swaras which have been uttered, pronounced from the person. And second is the sthana. Sthana is a point where from the voice originates. This is there are 3 places, 3 points where from the voice generates. That is the Kanta, Vuraha and Shiras. These are the 3 places. Kanta is a neck, Uras is a chest and Shiras is a head. These are the 3 places where from the voice generates, voice starts. And we have to take a in Vachika Abhinaya, when he is pronouncing anything, depending on the scene, depending on the situation, depending on the dialogue, they have to see whether the voice is raising, coming, originating from the Kanta or Gura, chest, or Shiras, the head. And Varna, third one is Varna. Varna is of 4 varieties. Varna is a mode of intonation of the voice, which is Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita and Kampita. Udatta is a bold type of intonation. Anudatta is a very normal one. Swarita is a little higher level, and Kampita is a little shaking vibration in the voice. And the 5th one is Alankara. These are all called as Kakuswara Vyanjana, because the voice, when they are uttering any dialogue, everybody cannot utter this in the same way as they are reading the text. According to the character which they are enacting, and the character is, when he is acting like Rama or Lakshmana or Bharata or Hanuman, he has to modulate his voice according to the character which he is enacting. That is why they all come under the Vachika Abhinaya. The 4th is Kaku. Kaku is of 2 varieties. Kaku is the variation in inflection. It has 2 varieties, Sakanksha Kaku and Nirakanksha Kaku. Sakanksha Kaku is implied inflection. That is, if anything a character wants to say it in a slight and modulated way, saying in a low tone with a idea to convey the meaning, differently meaning and implied meaning. And Nirakanksha Kaku is a intonation or enunciation as a complete citation of the lower pitch and ending in the higher pitch. This is the Nirakanksha Kaku. 5th one is Alankara. Alankara is the modes of enunciation. This mode of enunciation is of 6 kinds. Vucha is a high, Deepta, bright, Mandra, the bass, Nicha, the low, Dhruta, fast, and Vilambita, dilated. These are the 6 varieties of alankaras in the speech. Ucha, Deepta, Mandra, Nicha, Dhruta, and Vilambita. And Angas. There are 6 kinds of Angas. In the Angas is a mode of rendering the dialogue. They are called as Angas, rendering the dialogue. These are also 6 in varieties, 6 ways to render the dialogue. Vicheda is a punctuated, that is Vicheda. It's not a continuous dialogue, but stop in between and continue the dialogue. Arpana is a pleasant one. Visarga with disinterest, and Anubadha is a continuation. Deepana is a brilliant, and Prasanna the flowing. These are the 6 varieties of Angas where the voice mode can be rendered. Then the second type of voice modulation is Virama. Virama is a pause. Stop in between, and the changing from one meter to other meter. That's a meter in Sanskrit is called as a chandas. One meter to the other meter, and the poetical passages change from one type of modulation to the other place. This is called as Virama. These are the 3 varieties of Vachika Abhinaya: expression through voice, language, speech, and voice. Through this, the Vachika Abhinaya is been rendered in the poetic compositions. From Angika Abhinaya, Vachika Abhinaya, now we will move to the third one, Aharya Abhinaya: expression through makeup and costume. This is rendered in 4 parts. Pusta, stage construction, how the stage has to be constructed and how big it has to be and what all the things needed for the stage. Like if it is a palace, then all the chairs and everything has to be there, or if it is a forest, then what all the other things have to be maintained, and whatever the situation, whatever the scene is there, arranging all the stage for the presentation. And second is Angarachana. Angarachana is makeup the face and body with the grease paints. And Bharata very clearly gives how the makeup equipment has to be made. What are the ingredients that has to be made to put it on the body of the actor, which doesn't harm him, which doesn't give any kind of skin diseases to him. The paints have to be made in such a way. Alankara, decoration. In the Ahara Abhinaya, Alankara is very important, very interesting thing. This is a part which actually tells that whether the person is on queen or very much care has to be taken to select the ornaments, dressing, and other decoration on the stage. Everything has to be taken care. The selection of jewels, gems, and other things also have to be taken care in the Alankara. And Sajjiva is a molding of the living creatures. Living creatures, because they have to be brought onto the stage, as most they look as if they are alive on the stage. A proper care has to be taken to mold such living creatures like elephants, horses, parrots, etc. Those who are alive, like suppose if they are enacting the drama Ramayana, and the golden deer has to run from the run on the stage from this end to that end, and it should be molded in such a way that it should look as if it is a real one running on the stage. This kind of a care has to be taken. Aharya Abhinaya is very important in the presentation of the drama, because half of the rasa will be produced through Aharya Abhinaya only. If a romantic hero or a heroine is been depicted on the stage, the way they dress, the dress itself has creates a kind of erodes a sattvika bhava in the spectator. If a Vidushaka character is there, the way he dresses, the dresses, the way he wears the ornaments, the way he puts the makeup on his face, that itself creates that itself produces hasya rasa in the hasya in the hasa in the spectator's mind. So Aharya Abhinaya is one of the very important Abhinaya in the presentation of the drama. And Sattvika Abhinaya, finally Sattvika Abhinaya. Sattvika Abhinaya is an expression through the responsive emotions. This depends on Sattva, which is a state of mind. Sattvam nama manaha prabhavam. Though it is not visible, but made as perceptible with the appropriate movements of the body. Sattvika Abhinaya is generates through the in the heart, but how to express it? Because the Angika Abhinaya can be expressed through the body limbs, body physical movements, physical gestures. Vachika Abhinaya through the words, through the speech, through the language, through the voice intonations, everything that can be expressed. Aharya Abhinaya is also an external one. But Sattvika Abhinaya is an intrinsic one, it is an inside one, but it has to be brought in out. The actor who is enacting, whatever the pains and pleasures he has, and he should depict in such a way that the audience also, the Sahrudaya, the sympathetic audience also should get the same kind of a bhava in his heart. The enacting actor may have that feeling, may not have the feeling at the same time on that particular character which he is enacting. But he, through practice, he should show such kind of an bhavas externally so that the sympathetic audience can receive it and thereby the rasa will be produced. There are three kinds of the alankaras, graces. Gatraja alankara, the physical alankaras which are accompanied by 8 sattvika bhavas. Swabhavaja alankaras, natural, which are 10 in number. And ayatnaja, involuntary, which are 7 pertaining to women and 6 pertaining to men. These are the alankaras of Sattvika Abhinaya. Sattvika Abhinaya is the basis of emotion. It is dependent on Angika, Vachika, aided by Aharya to reach the pinnacle of the performance, because the Sattvika Abhinaya is the emotional part. This has to be brought out. Like when a person is angry or when a person is happy, the way he shows outwardly, when he is angry, eyes become red and body starts shaking, and when he is in a happy mood, the lips will prolong. These kind of things they have to show, and looking at that, those kind of abhinayas, sympathetic audience, Sahrudaya also feels the same state and feels the involuntarily he becomes one, he identifies himself with the actor who is enacting, thereby the rasa will be produced. Bharata states that Abhinaya predominated with this Sattvika Bhava is the superior performance, because it just passes from the heart of the actor to the heart of the audience. Other things, other Aharya Abhinaya or Vachika Abhinaya or the Angika Abhinaya, they only support raising the Sattvika Bhava from in the audience. The Sattvika Bhava raised in the heart of the actor enters into the heart of the audience. That is why this performance, Sattvika Abhinaya performance, is considered as the superior performance. Angika Abhinaya, Vachika Abhinaya are the backbones of the body, and Abhinaya, backbones of the body of the Abhinaya Purusha, and Aharya is its limbs. This is what they consider. Angika and Vachika Abhinaya are the backbones of the Abhinaya Purusha, and Aharya is his limbs, and Satvika Abhinaya is his soul. The soul of the character enacted and the soul of the audience, they will unite together, thereby the rasa will be produced. Now let us summarize the contents which we have learned through this module. We have learned about the Abhinaya, which is of 4 varieties: Angika, Vachika, Aharya and Satvika Abhinaya, which are very important in the performance of the drama. Angika Abhinaya with all its varieties, Satvika, Vachika Abhinaya along with its varieties, Aharya Abhinaya and Satvika Abhinaya. And here the Angika Abhinaya is a physical gesture, physical movement, expression through the physical body. Bharata has taken importance to each and every anga, like eyes, eyelids, how they have to move in particular emotion, particular state of a condition is been explained in the Natya Shastra. Angika Abhinaya with from the top of the body to the toe of the body, every part of the body, how it has to move in the other stage. That has been explained in the Angika Abhinaya. And Vachika Abhinaya, 3 varieties of Vachika Abhinayas are being explained. The language, the priority is for the language, and whatever the character is and being enacted, then that character, if he comes from different places, what kind of a slang, what kind of a modulation he has, the same thing has to be incorporated in the Vachika Abhinaya. Aharya Abhinaya is, though some people like Vipradasa, he feels that Aharya Abhinaya is mainly important Abhinaya amongst all the other Abhinayas, because that itself, when the person comes onto the stage, Rama, when he comes onto the stage with his attire, audience will know the story which they are going to enact. That's why he feels that this is very, very important one. But Aharya Abhinaya, more than the Aharya Abhinaya, Angika Abhinaya, Vachika Abhinaya, Satvika Abhinaya is very, very subtle one. Because it is such a subtle one, it brings out the inner state of a person. Some of the states like love, anger, or disgust, for all the 8 rasas, there are 8 kind of sthayi bhavas are there, which are very, which lay in the heart of a ordinary person or a spectator in a dormant stage. Kindling those kind of sattvika bhavas is done by the sattvika abhinaya. That means whatever the internal, intrinsic feelings are there, emotions are there, that will be brought out through the Satvika Abhinaya. That is why Bharata considers that the drama which is performed with the Satvika Abhinaya is the supreme performance. And Angika, for Angika Abhinaya, where the limb movements are there, that is supported with the Vachika Abhinaya. Vachika Abhinaya is supported with Aharya Abhinaya, and finally the main Abhinaya is the Satvika Abhinaya. This is how the drama has to have all the 4 Abhinayas. When they are 4 together, then it reaches to it brings the highest goal of a actor. That is, the highest goal, highest achievement is nothing but evoking the rasas in the audience heart. Thank you for listening. Those who are very much interested in knowing the Abhinaya can go through Bharata's Natya Shastra and Nandika Shastra Abhinaya Darpana, Nrutaratnavali of Jayapa Senapati, and Sangita Chandra of Vipradasa. Nrutaratnavali of Jayapa Senapati belongs to Kakatiya period. The Ramappa temple, which has been constructed, exactly taking all the dance poses from Nrutaratnavali, has been incorporated in the Ramappa temple. These are the main works which one can refer to know the details about the Abhinaya.